Good afternoon. This is the view from the bottom of the trench. Well, actually, this is the view from the bottom of the trench. Done a lot of digging today. Rob's been helping me, done an absolutely superb job, and he's worked incredibly hard. And yeah, it was sweaty and horrible. So not overly hot, but you know, we're working and all. So the bottom of that trench is 3'3" or 1 metre below the slabs, and yeah, so we've dug all the way along, mostly Rob actually, and gone through soil into what we call a natural, in other words sand and stones and everything. Some really interesting sort of patterns in the sand. I mean, this is all natural. This is as laid down by whenever this was a sea, and I reckon that these vertical lines are probably from roots of plants that have grown through over the years. These tiles, however, aren't. Oops, sorry. That's probably part of the soak away that was in the garden for the drains. But yeah, there was a lot of digging. We had to dig out probably the same again as what was done yesterday, and I'm sorry about that, Rob. Miscalculation on my part, but I'm taking a very cautious approach, this being my first time doing an extension and digging footings to the steps. I'm not going to take any chances, and I'd rather do a day's hand digging than get it wrong. So anyway, that's that. This is the back wall. Then we come along to the corner and then off down the drive. So from where I'm standing, which is right at the back here, the end of the trench, which you can just see where the slabs turn right, is 13 metres. Well, actually, I've got to go a little bit further than I've dug so far. The very nice lady building inspector came. Let me just get out of the trench. Oh, just as we were having our lunch, which is kind of inevitable really, and showed her what we'd done, and she was happy with that. That's fine. Told her about the issue with the foundations of the house and explained what I thought would be an appropriate thing to do, and she agreed. Said just go to the bottom of the drain there. This is all coming out. Just go to the bottom of there, because that is the bottom of disturbed ground. Okay, so below that, I mean, that's where the natural starts, and obviously where they put the drain in is a trench. So I'll take that out on Monday. So that gives me a reasonable depth of concrete, and then a trench block, foundation block, and then we can start building. So there's going to be different thicknesses of concrete around, which is fine. I'm going to get some rebar, some reinforcing bar to put in, so that this section is stronger. I mean, it will make a difference there, and certainly on the corners, but here it's going to be kind of really important, and so that's a good thing. What I've got to do still is to take that grid out. That joins on there, so we've got a diagonal going down U-bend and into the grid, so that's got to come out. I've also got to cut slit trenches for the foundations for the walls that are going here. Also one about there, and then I've got to dig that way for the end wall, which means that the gas pipe is going to get intersected. Don't want to do that, so I'll be talking to a guy I know who may be able to give me a bit of advice on that. So yeah, we've also increased our piles. Yes, we have piles in the garden. What you can't see is there's a pile of soil just the other side of that beech tree, and the soil, mostly sand actually, it's really good sand. That is being stockpiled so that when they've got nothing else to do, they're going to do a raised patio in that corner. There's a shed at the end which you might just be able to see. That's coming out, and they're going to do a raised sort of decking patio area. So they'll need that soily, sandy soil to do the infill on that. Well, we're not short of a bit. Most of this will be going into the skip, well, a skip, not this one, it's nearly full. And then I'll need to keep some for backfill on the walls. That won't come yet. What I will do is cut a path round the edges so that when the concrete's in, the brickie can get in safely and do his thing. So Monday is a little bit more digging. I'm going to finish off from there to about there. Do that across. The building inspector lady said if you send me some photographs of what you've done, then she'll be able to give me the go-ahead to get the concrete ordered, which is good. And then she wants to come back and see it when I'm ready to either do the drains or to do the slab. I think it'll be probably the drains next. Anyway, we'll make that decision later on. She was very, very nice, very helpful, said, you know, any questions, give me a call. And you know, we don't mind coming out to, you know, have a look and offer advice and guidance and tell you what's needed. And that's you can't ask for more than that. So yeah. Oh yes, one other thing I asked about was this puny lintel. I showed her the plans about the steel that we're putting in there, and said that I'm going to put the same steel in there if that's okay. Yes, that's fine, because it's sharing some of the load of the ridge beam up there. Remember that? And there we go. So end of week 3. What have we achieved? We've dug a hole. What have we achieved? We've achieved a lot actually, and I've been tremendously aided by some very good friends who've worked tirelessly to help me out. I mean, they've been paid and all, but they've worked incredibly hard, and for which both me and my customers are very, very grateful. It just makes it so much easier and quicker too. So yes, we had 3 weeks ago on the Monday morning we had an outhouse, we had a conservatory. By the end of week 1 we'd demolished those. By the end of week 2 we'd started robbing out the foundations and all that sort of thing, moving lots of materials in. That was most of week 2 really. Moving materials in, and that was good, all by hand. Because if we hadn't have done that then, well, without some form of bridge, we wouldn't be able to do it now. Not an insurmountable obstacle, but just a pain in the what's it. So there we go. Anyway, have a nice weekend. Thank you for watching, and let's see what we can achieve next week. I hope it will be as dramatic as what you see now. As what you see. Oh dear, that's bad English. Anyway, I'm going. Have a nice weekend.